this is a business of mathematics, statistical math. Now, I know that might be out of some people's reach. I'm a finance econ major, so I'm kind of a math geek. But Josh, Zeb, Denise, your success is math. How thick can your skin get and how mentally tough can you become? Someone says no, no means go. I just go to the next person. I don't care if it's a lead that I spent 50 bucks buying. They say no, I go to the next one. Because out of every 10 leads that are good quality leads, you know, there's going to be 4 or 5 buyers in there, 3 or 4. So invest 500, deposit 4 grand. I mean, that's that process of growing yourself.
For those that didn't hear your talk and don't know who you are, which is surprising because we've been hanging out for months now, please update them for us.
Well, my name is Darin Stubbs. I live in Boise, Idaho. I've been here about 30 years. I'm an executive vice president with Symmetry Financial Group. I have a father of 4 children, and as of yesterday, grandfather of 3rd grandbaby. My daughter, Mackenzie Brooke, gave birth to Evelyn, 7 pounds, 4 ounces, 19 and a half inches long. I know, boring grandpa. Oh, by the way, it's Grampy, not grandpa.
Grampy.
G-R-A-M-P-I. My oldest granddaughter is 6.5, Aria, and they're asking me what I want to be called. I'm like, hey, whatever she picks, that's what we're going to go with. So my 2.5-year-old grandson, Alden, Grampy, when am I coming to your house? Anyway, so life is amazing. I've been in the industry, back in the insurance industry for about 6.5 years. I am very, very blessed.
You know what? Let me jump in. Okay. I just found my intro for you at 8%. So I'm going to reread it for those maybe didn't hear it. Okay. Did you like your intro at 8%?
You did a great job, brother. I was standing there listening to you just going, my heart was just pumping. I was like, wow, this is awesome.
I'm not going to do it in the same energy because that's going to be really hard to duplicate. Because I was
right.
Like,
no, you don't have to do the yelling in the microphone. We're good. We're on Zoom, so we're good.
That's right. Our next speaker has been in the industry for less than 6 years and has a total agency sales of over $18 million. In March of 2022, he earned just south of $200K in income. He speaks on having a CEO mindset from Boise, Idaho, not 8%, but Rising Star. Welcome to Rising Stars, Darin Stubbs.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
All right, keep going, buddy.
You figure out, you just start hanging out with Cody and osmosis starts to happen. Your life gets more positive. Have you ever met a guy more positive, more full of smiles, works harder, loves and blesses on his team, inclusive? I mean, Cody's a great example and just kills me. He's only 32 years old. I'm like, wow, where was I when I was 32? Thanks,
man. Appreciate
that. Amazing.
Thank you, Grampy. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, man, that's going to cost you next time I see you, brother. I have to play this for my grandchildren. Grampy, look at that, you know.
Exactly. I love it. Dude, so you said 6 years? Six.
My anniversary was just last week. 6 years. August 2016 is when I started.
Amazing. How do you go from 0 to 18 million in 6 years? Like, I know a lot of people have been in the industry for a lot longer with a lot smaller results, you know.
Well, and this is the Rising Star platform. So I know I don't even have to ask permission to just shoot straight and let people have it, right? So that's our platform for today. So you're on here because you're a rising star. You want to know how to take it to the next level. So we're just going to shoot straight. If you don't have a pen and paper, you might want to grab a pen and paper because these forms are magic. Also, too, I would encourage you, this is a contact sport. So if you do not have your webcam on, turn on your webcam. Because in my agency, if your webcam is off, you are a spectator. You are not a participant, let alone being down on the playing field in uniform, running plays, running touchdowns, throwing touchdowns, getting tackled, getting up. And college football starts in a few weeks, and I am a 30-year Boise State season ticket holder on the 50-yard line. Oh, forget you, Derek, man. So yeah, man, I think what's really important is that you understand that mindset. You know, the you are has gotten you to where you're at. If you're not happy with where you're at in life, relationships, your bank account balance, the home you live in, the free time you have. All you have to do is look in the mirror, because you are wholly and totally responsible for that. It's not someone else's fault. You know, being a single father and raising children, I often taught them the D words: diffuse, deflect, defer, disseminate, and disinformation. Man, you got to get all that out, and you got to focus on what can I control? What can I do? You know, and Cody is a master of controlling that attitude and that activity. And what he's taught so many people is association. So that's kind of the same thing, the 3 A's. Every day you get to control your attitude. You get to control your daily activities. You can't control the outcome, but you can control the activity. And then look at a bunch of winners we're on here. I mean, what are a lot of people doing on a Monday afternoon right now? You know, who knows? You know, eating popcorn, watching Netflix, binge watching something, who knows? Not us. We're here trying to build each other up, trying to uplift each other. And that's a wonderful thing. But in the end, there's no escaping the 4-letter word: work. It takes work. You can't, actually, I'm going to unmute. You're going to see my message. I'm going to change my background here. I want to share something. In my office, I got these from Iconic. Okay. And every day I walk in, I look, and I remind myself what I am. Entrepreneur, as a noun, a person who's up late working 100 hours a week for themselves to avoid working 40 hours a week for someone else. Okay. Success. Everyone sees the top of the iceberg. Oh, Cody's success, Darin's success, all these other people are successful. What you don't see is the hard work, persistence, late nights, rejections, over and over and over, sacrifices, discipline, criticism, doubts, failures, and risks that someone successful takes. And I love this one. 90% who quit are employed by the 3% who never give up. And so I think that's probably a good place for us to start, Cody, is, hey, you know, you've got to decide in your own mind, what is it you want? How hard are you willing to work? What are you willing to give up short term to get what you want long term? And just accepting the process that there's work involved. Anything in value of life requires hard work. You know, and I see grown men my age, and I see young men in their 20s complaining about the work. I'm like, dude, ladies and gentlemen, it takes work to get from where you're at to where you want to go. The good thing about this platform, the good thing about 8%, about power players, about rising stars, Cody is teeing up for all of us some of the best coaches and mentors in the world, not just the insurance business. You want to be a better mom, better girlfriend, better wife? Well, then be in relentless pursuit of personal growth. You want to be a better agency owner, a better mentor, a better coach? You better be reading more. You better be associating more. You better be watching podcasts. Turn off that CNN crap and all that news. Just turn all that crap off. I was telling a new agent just 2 days ago, he's 26. His wife's 24 and they have a 2-month-old. I said, you're not old enough to remember this because your whole life you've grown up with computers. I'm from the analog to digital generation. But there was a phrase back in the 80s when PCs first came out, GIGO. Who knows what that means? Besides people over 50. Anyone under 50 can remember what that means. Garbage in, garbage out. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all in here. It's all in your mind. There is the great battleground in the insurance industry. I don't care if you're in med sup, if you're in mortgage protection, if you're trying to build a small or a regional or a national agency, the battleground is it's all in here. So, I mean, that might be just a good way to start right there, Cody. Let me just kick it back to you, friend.
That's good, man. I love the 3 A's too that Patrice was asking about: attitude, activity, and association, which is so strong because you think about it, like you actually have control over your attitude, you have control over your activity, and technically you get to choose your association. You know, you may not have complete control over the other people around you at all times, but you have control over who you associate with. I think that's a cool A that most people don't talk. Everybody talks about attitude and activity. I did a little webinar earlier, and I talked about attitude, activity, and appointments. I should have said attitude, activity, and association. So I think I'm going to change those now. I like that.
Yeah, and that was part of my presentation on the CEO mindset. You know, and it's kind of an adaptation from a Denzel Washington quote. You're hanging out with 5 millionaires. Guess who's going to be the 6th millionaire? You're hanging out with 5 criminals. Guess who's most likely going to be the 6th criminal? And the cool part is you get to choose.
So what if somebody doesn't have access? They don't think they have access to millionaires, and they have zero in their life right now.
Well, I think that comes down to, what are you trying to do with your life? Where do you want to go? If you're in the med sup business, then maybe you need to find a mentor in the med sup business. If you're in the mortgage protection space and agency building space, Darin Stubbs at gmail.com. Reach out to me. You have to seek out. You have to seek out people who are where you are. In fact, today I one of the new guys I recently recruited, and I'm like a broken record when I'm doing recruiting, because we're not looking for everybody, Cody. And one of the things that I keep on my desk, and when I speak a lot, I just didn't do it at 8%, deck of cards. Yes, these are Boise State football cards, Derek, just for you, buddy. How many cards are in the deck? How many cards? Come on, someone type, say, speak up. 52. You can shuffle this until Jesus comes back. How many cards are in the deck? 52. Well, if I put it face down, please show me, where are the aces? Well, you can't see them. So this applies both to the sales side of insurance and to the recruiting side and to your group of friends who you associate. So your job, look, amateur recruiters try to sell and convince people. What's that old phrase, Cody? A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because our job is not trying to close people. That idea of hard management and hard sales, that is a dead style. It is gone and buried. And if you're trying to do that, that is not what Cody's trying to teach you in 8% Nation. That's not what we do with my company. We're trying to build leaders. So you need to choose to be around leaders. So your job is to sort the cards. I tend to work with aces and faces. Aces and faces. Cody, you ever have someone come to you on your team and say, oh, dude, Cody, this guy, my friend, he's the best. And I just know that if you talk to him and you convinced him, he would change his life. This is a 5. Bye. Sort and find the next one. And as you sort through the deck of cards, sooner or later, you have people tell you, no, that's stupid, that won't work, you're never going to make any money. But boom, out comes an ace. Now, what do you know is still left in this deck of cards right here?
3 more.
That's right. So if you're the rising star, you have to choose to just do the units of work and sort and find. And look at that. It took 2 cards and then bam, I found another ace.
Wow.
And so you accept that this is a business of mathematics, statistical math. Now, I know that might be out of some people's reach. I'm a finance econ major, so I'm kind of a math geek. But Josh, Zeb, Denise, your success is math. How thick can your skin get and how mentally tough can you become? Someone says no, no means go. I just go to the next person. I don't care if it's a lead that I spent $50 buying. They say no, I go to the next one. Because out of every 10 leads that are good quality leads, there's going to be 4 or 5 buyers in there, 3 or 4. So invest 500, deposit $4,000. I mean, that's that process of growing yourself. Cody has he's got overhead, he has office, he has a sales team, he has employees, but he also knows that if I don't invest, right, Cody, there is no corresponding or greater than return.
That's right.
So if you begin, Steve Covey, if you begin with the end in mind, then that's a pretty powerful place to be sitting. Because now you can say, all right, here's where I'm at, here's what I need to do. Then it's up to me to go do the work. And if I don't succeed, whose fault is that, Ryan? That's right, it's on me. If I popped off at someone on the phone, maybe I need to read Emotional Intelligence 2.0, or maybe I need to read the book 5 Voices and learn about how to communicate my style, because Derek's style hears and communicates different than Darin. So Darin needs to learn to ascertain, well, how does Derek receive information? And then I change. I get better to learn how to communicate with someone like Derek. Because, he went like this to Boise State football, so I'm going to have to punch him next time I see him. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but just teasing, brother.
Yes.
Hey, if you enjoyed this, I got another one you're going to love. It's right there. Click on it. See you in there.
Like, what did you do to go from 10K, 26K, 60K, 60K, and then boom, over 100 in 2017 with that full year, almost doubled? Yes, you had time on your hands, but what else did you do different?
I think I